Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we had a little bit of a technology issue, and it glitched out about 5 minutes into the reading. So I believe you can still check that out, but I'm not sure that it would give you much insight because my understanding is it was buffering. But we have a forbidden love story here, somebody who knows that if it were to be discovered that they have feelings for you, that someone would be mad, their relationship partner, or maybe it's a best friend or a sibling. Maybe it's you that's in the relationship, maybe it's their relationship. But this is not a connection that they feel like they can pursue, and yet they also don't feel like they can forget you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find out more about how to become a member in that description box as well. And there's also a link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. So I did already pull some cards from the Marigold Tarot. I'm going to walk you through those. As I said, we had about 5 minutes on a previous reading that got interrupted technology-wise. But we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse and Temperance in the reverse. I know that if it were to get out that I have feelings for you, that it would upset people and people would feel like I'm making a bad decision or I'm ruining things. So because it would cause a scandal, I try to keep these feelings to myself. And yet there is some sort of strange tension here that is happening in, places where these two see each other. I do feel like for the majority of you, this is a reading about somebody who is in love with you and they should not be. But of course, take it as it resonates. You might be the one who has these feelings. But I think the Empress, who is the beloved, doesn't have to be a woman. I think they know. I think they can pick up on that energy and they feel someone is acting strangely towards them, and it is probably because of that reason. Hello, 369. How are you doing? I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. So you could put your question in a super chat and I will add you to the list. I will be doing that section after the general reading in about 33 minutes, well, 32 minutes. So we've got someone who feels like they have to hide or be sneaky about the fact that they are in love with you. Because either you're in a relationship or they're in a relationship, maybe even both of those things. But if people knew, then it would be a problem and it would cause an argument or maybe even get me fired or be like ostracized from the group. So I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying not to let my feelings get the best of me. But with that Queen of Wands in the reverse, I do feel like this person thinks about you in terms of physical intimacy, or it may even be that cliche, like, said your name during physical intimacy with somebody else. Hopefully not. Hello, Savith, how are you doing? Hello, Sahi. Hello, Vidya, what's up? Rishala, if you would like me to do some, pull some cards for you, you can put your request in a super chat and I will add you to the list. I do personal questions after the general reading in about 30 minutes. Hello, Angel. Hello, MMA, what's up? Vidya, I think you just heard me say if you would like me to pull some cards, please put that in a super chat, okay? Sorry, Savit, that's not my expertise. Hello, Olga, how are you doing? I'm going to put you in a brief timeout. Vidya, please do not repeat your question. If you want me to pull cards for you, you can put it in a super chat, okay? So we have the Star in the reverse, the Six of Wands in the reverse, and the Ace of Wands in the reverse. An opportunity or a life that they think about, but they know they cannot pursue, because if they were to pursue a relationship with you, it would be at a pretty steep cost, probably being ostracized, or for some of you, even losing their job if they were to pursue you. This is the Noisy Tarot. Let's see what else we get for you. Hello, Misha. How are you doing today? Hello, Connect. Hello, Nikun. What's up? Two of Wands in the reverse, the Fool, and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is somebody who has a habit of, like, without plans, showing up, or they might stare at you. They might find some excuse to order something from your business, or hire you to paint their garage door. They like to find ways or like excuses to be in your energy, but I also feel like it's not necessarily because they want to talk you up. I do feel like they watch you. They may watch your social media, especially if they have a catfish account. But the prevailing thought here is, I know if I do anything to act on my feelings for you, that there would be dire consequences. Hello, Barbara. How are you doing? What else, please? Six of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. They do something nice for the Empress, the person who has a crush that they know they should not have. I don't really like calling somebody the Fool because that can kind of, I don't know, cause people to make judgments maybe they shouldn't. But the person who has affections for the Empress and knows that they shouldn't, they do something here impulsively, like sending flowers or buying someone a drink or liking a picture on social media. There's something they do while they're just kind of like slightly distracted, and it betrays this lie that they have maintained for so long, and someone else is figuring out that this person loves you. Ten of Swords in the reverse and the Hanged Man in the reverse. So it's not like reaching everyone, but this one person who finds out that they're in love with the Empress says, hey, that seems like a really bad idea. Maybe you should not do that. Hello, Rachel. How you doing? That seems like it could get you in trouble. That seems like it could be a scandal or a problem. Maybe for some of you, this is a boss who loves you. But I do feel like there is something about breaking a rule or breaking an obligation. I made a promise to someone else when I got married, or I made a promise to somebody else as far as like how I would behave as an employee, and I'm not honoring that. So there is a uncomfortable conversation they have with a person who says, this is not a good idea. You really need to like fix that. Thank you for becoming a member, Gerardo. I hope you're having a good day. Oh, I hope it gets there for you soon, Rachel. And let's see what else we've got. Ace of Pentacles, Temperance in the reverse, Three of Cups in the reverse. So it's like unsolicited advice. Hey, I noticed that you are maybe like kind of staring at that person, or I noticed that you are overly nice, or I saw that you were like peeping their social media account. What are you doing? That seems like a bad idea. Let's like address this. Hello, Raziel. How are you doing today? Thank you for the laughing disco. Hello, Venom. You're welcome to share it, but please don't be expecting any positive outcome from that. We can have a giggle, but you're not getting somebody's number. This is the Hocus Pocus Tarot. I like it, Rachel. All right. What else do we have? Nine of Lightning, which is the Nine of Swords in the reverse, and the High Priestess in the reverse. So I see how you're looking at that person, or I see that you're like stalking them on social media, or, you know, it looks like you might have some fantasies about that person who's not single. Let's like address that, right? Let's think about this logically. What kind of potential risks are you taking by obsessing over that person? They're getting a warning. The universe is trying to help them out. Like, hey, your intuition has told you this is a bad idea, but you've ignored it. What if a person that you trust also tells you it's a bad idea, right? Three of Candles, which is the Three of Wands, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. So you did something that someone picked up. You know, basically this means you're in love with the Empress. And they say, like, face to face, that's a bad idea, and that could end poorly. Why don't you like go on a dating app, or why don't you go to a bar or something? Let's meet somebody who's single instead of trying to cause some drama. Oops, sorry, I need a few more. Hello, Raj. My name is Carmen. Please call me that. The Chariot. I don't think they stop. The Queen of Potions, which is the Queen of Cups. And the Nine of Potions or Nine of Cups in the reverse. I don't want to stop loving this person. I know that I shouldn't, but they're exactly what I daydream about, exactly what I've always wanted. So, you know, I guess I'll take the risk. If it's not meant to be, then I guess it's not meant to be, but I can't help how I feel. They're just kind of like flippant about it, right? I like that, Raziel. Hello, Sunkiss. How are you doing? Hello, Steven. What's up? That sounds a little forceful there, Sunkiss. Let's not do that. This is the Romantic Lenormand. Let's see what else we've got for you. We have the Man card. Oh, I heard you lost yours. Would you like it back? Sorry. I'm just kidding, you guys. And we have the Child card. For some, this indicates that we have an age gap, which renders this crush a little bit more offensive, because it's like, why are you interested in somebody that's like 20 years younger than you? Look, to each their own, but in my experience, that doesn't really work. For others of you, this is somebody who is potentially wanting to be a homewrecker. Like, oh, you have a nice little family there. It would be a shame if I fell in love with your partner and then they decided to leave you. Thank you, Illumi. Let me know if you have a question, or I can just pull some cards for you after the general reading and see what comes out for you. Hello, Roditya. I am indeed. The other thing is, this could be somebody who feels like they can pursue a relationship even though there's already an existing relationship. You got to live your own life, but my personal recommendation would be to pursue relationships only when you're ready and only when you're dealing with somebody who is actually single. If you build a relationship with someone while they are in a relationship with someone else, I think the saying is, you lose them the same way you got them. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Rachel. Roditya, this is the general reading for about another 20 minutes. If it resonates, that's awesome. Otherwise, I do personal questions after the general reading. If you wanted to do a super chat with your question, I'm happy to add you to the list. So even though there is a lot of work or chaos or blockage, I still love this person. I know I shouldn't, but I love them anyways. Alrighty, we're gonna go with the Royal Fez. What else do we have about this forbidden love? The Magician and the Knight of Pentacles. Oh no. I see a love spell. I don't want to wait to meet somebody else that I might love. I know that I love this person and this is what I want. And I don't want to try to meet somebody else. I don't want to, forget that I feel this way. So I'm just going to do a little bit of love magic here. I'm going to find a way to make this person love me back. And even though there are obstacles in our way, the Empress will choose me. And here's the Empress coming back through. So this is someone who was warned. Their intuition told them this is a bad idea. You know that you shouldn't be in love with that person or, work on that. And then there was a third party, perhaps a friend or a coworker that said, hey, that's a bad idea. Why are you doing that? And they continue to pursue something with this Empress anyways, despite that boundary. Thank you, Gerardo. If she's with someone else? Should I just leave her alone? I can pull more than one card for you, Gerardo, but I'm happy to answer those questions for you. And Illumi, if you are out there, I'd like to figure out if you have a question or if you'd like me to pull some cards for you. Otherwise, thank you for the tip. Gerardo, depending on whether or not Illumi answers with a question, you would be first up if we don't hear from Illumi, and I will start those questions in about 16, 17 minutes. Hello, Paramesh, how are you doing? So we have the Ace of Swords. This is words spoken with a specific intention. Basically saying, I'm going to find a way to make this Empress love me. And it causes chaos because the Six of Swords is in the reverse. So I don't ever support the idea of doing a love spell with a particular person in mind. If you want to manifest love into your life, go for it. But this is someone who's saying life would be so much easier. I don't want to stop loving this person. I just want to make them love me. 8 of Wands in the reverse and Justice. So now we have karma showing up. Oh, what's that? You want to take away somebody's agency and do a love spell and try to make them obsessed with you? Okay, we're going to have to teach you a lesson because we tried to tell you through your intuition not to do that. And we tried to get somebody else to explain to you that was a bad idea and you didn't believe it. Now, because the person who is beloved is coming through as the Empress, there is a pretty good chance that whoever is this Empress, could be you, has a family or a child with the person that they're with, or they have some contribution that could be very helpful for a business, family, or a friendship that is put at risk by this person doing a love spell. Death in the reverse, and the Lovers in the reverse. So instead of choosing to end their fascination or obsession with this person who is not available, or instead of choosing to end their own relationship so that they could pursue somebody else, or quitting their job so that it's no longer like against the handbook, they decide to get a little greedy with it. I would show you the Lovers, but there's naked people. Sorry, guys. YouTube gets mad about that. Yeah, trying to do a love spell on an Empress is sloppy. It's a bad idea. An Empress would be somebody who is protected. So this energy is going to come back on the greedy individual. What are we calling you? I think we will call you, well, we'll call you the Magician. So you may resonate with the Magician. You may resonate with the Empress. You may even be this friend who said, hey, that seems like a bad idea. Maybe you should like fall in love with somebody who's available or someone that you don't work with, right? Hello, Jason. How are you doing? Scrooge McLovin. So we have some chaos that happens as a result of this love spell. I thought I was going to be able to capture this Empress or make them mine because I cannot get over the love that I feel for them. But what really ends up happening is my love spell has, it like backfires, right? It has unintended consequences. 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. The Empress is protected. The love spell does not impact the Empress. It's like the love spell misses the Empress entirely. Like, you don't have the address, you can't find me, I'm hidden. And it hits somebody else. And this is karma finding a way to teach the Magician a lesson. You're going to see what it's like when somebody is obsessed with you when you don't want them. How do you like it? Oh, you hate it? That's weird. Maybe you shouldn't have done that thing. What do we want? We're going to go with the Soul Cat Tarot. Hello, Mario. How are you doing? What else do we have, please? Knight of Wands in the reverse. 2 of Swords in the reverse. The Magician's mad. Knight of Wands in the reverse is anger. I was very clear when I did my love spell. How is it that this Empress is not head over heels? How is it that they haven't ended their other relationship yet? Why aren't they like banging on my door saying, oh my gosh, I love you, I need you? Why didn't it work? 8 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. I did all that work, but I haven't got like the harvest yet. I said what I needed to say, but the Empress doesn't seem to be like totally in love with me yet. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I need to, you know, just double check. It couldn't hurt anything, right? Someone else gets hit with this love spell and it is not the Empress because the Empress is protected. And now there is this coworker or this friend or I don't know, some random person at the grocery store who is like completely infatuated with this Magician. Like follows them around like a puppy dog, right? Yeah, no, that takes too much work apparently, Rachel. So we have the 9 of Swords. My love spell didn't work. My love spell is apparently dysfunctional. And even though this other person's in love with me, they're not who I want. I just want the Empress. I don't think there's ever a good ending to the doing a love spell on a specific person thing. I just don't. So now they're still in love with the Empress. The Empress still doesn't give them the time of day. But in addition to that, there is some other person here who has been struck by Cupid's arrow and is obsessed with them. So we have like an additional complication to the love triangle. Someone's in a relationship. It could be the Magician. It could be the Empress. It could be both. But now we also have this other third party who's gotten impacted by this love spell that was actually meant for the Empress. And the Magician is like, leave me alone. I've told you I'm not interested. That's really rich. Coming from a person who needed to do a love spell to try to get somebody to fall in love with them because they couldn't take a hint. That sounds like a little bit like karma. King of Pentacles in the reverse. The King of Pentacles in the reverse is the person who ends up getting that love spell. They end up not being able to focus on anything. They end up being just like completely obsessed with this Magician. And like I said, following them around. So it's like impossible now for the Magician to focus. They wanted to keep doing the love spell on the Empress, but they can't because they have this person following them around, the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Whoops. Actually, no, let's do the Overthinker's Oracle. What else do we have, please? Yes, exactly, Raziel. Hello, Nicholas, how are you doing? I'm ready to see you face to face. Hidden pregnancy. So it could be that the Empress, which is a card that can talk about pregnancy, could be that we have somebody who's starting a family or adding to their family. That could be part of the reason they're protected from the love spell. It could also be that this Magician may have a moment of weakness and decide to give in to this King of Pentacles in the reverse that has been struck by their love magic intended for the Empress. And things get even more complicated because of an unplanned pregnancy. I will love you until the end of time. I didn't comprehend what this connection was until it was too late. So the Magician is getting a taste of their own medicine. This King of Pentacles in the reverse does not have to be a man, by the way. But it's somebody who is not grounded. That's why they were hit by the love spell, even though it wasn't intended for them. They are fixated on this Magician, and it is teaching them, or at least trying to teach the Magician, why you need to be respectful of people's independence or their ability to make their own choice in love, right? I don't choose the names, but I appreciate it, Raziel. I think it's merely to indicate that this is somebody who's tried to use a love spell. Hello, Siddharth. How are you doing? Congratulations on your new job. I do personal questions after the general reading. If you would like to put your question in a super chat, I will add it to the list. So look at that. We have obsessive lover. This King of Pentacles in the reverse is obsessed with the Magician, addicted to their energy. A little bit of a taste of their own medicine, right? This Magician can't figure out why they haven't been able to influence or control the Empress. It's because the Empress is protected. I feel terrible for ghosting you and not having the courage to say what needed to be said. This King of Pentacles in the reverse is having a whole love, like a romantic story happening in their head. Excuse me. Regarding this Magician, to basically illustrate for the Magician, this is you, this is what you sound like. You're like a little bit delusional here, expecting this Empress to choose you when they already have something else that they're building, or they already have a relationship. But the Magician is convinced. We have this hard to describe connection, and I don't want anybody else. Hello, True Urban. How are you doing? Unrequited love. Hello, Mikolas. How are you doing? Hello, Melikeya. So we have karmic partner. This King of Pentacles in the reverse is sent to the Magician to teach them a lesson. You didn't listen to your intuition. You failed to take advice from a friend or confidant who told you that seems like a bad idea. I would leave that Empress alone. So the universe said, bet. We're going to have to teach you the hard way. You're going to try to do a love spell on somebody who told you they're not interested. We're going to have somebody follow you around and become obsessed with you and see if you like it. And slowly but surely, it's starting to dawn on this Magician that they have done something they should not have done. Now we have the Twin Flame card. So for some of you, you have a twin flame who is not accepting of the fact that you have walked away, and they are trying to do magic on you to get you to feel the way that they expected you to feel about them. For others of you, we have this Magician wanting it to be a twin flame dynamic between the Empress and themselves, but it doesn't work that way. I'm afraid you will do me the same way I did you. Now this Magician is starting to see how creepy their behavior is because of how the King of Pentacles in the reverse is acting with them. What shall we use? We're going to go with the Bianco Nero. And then after that, we're going to start the personal questions. Hello, Frida. How are you doing today? Hello, boring bot boy. Which, to be fair, is better than being a bot fly. I don't use my gift for that, Frida, but I wish your team luck. May the best team win. Okay. Are you really mad about what language I'm speaking? There's so many better reasons to be mad at a person. I'm disappointed. Ooh, enjoy that brisket, Raziel. Hey, Frida, I already told you I do not do that type of question. That is not what my gift is for. You trying to bet on the game? That's not what my gift is for. So if you ask me again, I'm going to block you, okay? Hello, Anand, how are you doing? I am from the US. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Trying to feel like they are the person this Empress wants. Trying to control the Empress's love, but finding out that they do not have control over that Empress. The Emperor is also the Empress, right? That's why we don't pay too close attention to the gender. This is the same person. They're protected because they have self-awareness, because they have good karma, and this Magician is not able to mess with them. That's why their love spell has not worked. That's why the love spell actually took effect on somebody else. So we have the Page of Swords and the Two of Swords. So now that you've seen the wreckage or the damage from your attempts to try to put a love spell on someone, are you finally going to get it? Are you finally going to realize that's not the right way to approach love? If you want to be loved, it has to be free will based, or it's not going to work out. If it's unrequited, then pivot. Find someone else who aligns, right? What would you prefer, Kartik? 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups in the reverse, and the 8 of Wands with the Hermit in the reverse. So the long-term relationship that the Empress has, or their future, is unscathed. It's protected. This Magician doesn't have the ability to ruin that for them. But there is someone here who is now obsessed with the Magician that they are not interested in. They're trying to say whatever they think would work to get this King of Pentacles in the reverse to leave them alone, but it's not working. Taste of their own medicine, I guess. So hopefully they'll realize what they need to do is undo their magic and stop trying to control people who aren't interested. Thank you, Mikolas. Let me add that for you. I've added that for you. And we're going to move over to personal questions. Thank you again to Illumi for the tip. I didn't see a question. So unless Rachel corrects me, I'm going to dive right into the question for Gerardo. And we're going to use the Shadowscapes Tarot. For Gerardo, is she with someone else? For Gerardo, is she with somebody else? Is she with someone else? No. I feel like there is an interested party that she has rejected. So yes, there is a suitor, or there is somebody who is trying to get closer to her, but she is not interested. Page of Cups, Six of Cups. Either there is a focus on family obligations or a desire to like just hang out with the friends. With that Six of Cups card, like, thanks, but no thanks. Should Gerardo leave her alone? Should Gerardo leave her alone? It's best to stay quiet or have like a little bit of no contact. And at some other time, when it feels right, come back around. But for right now, yes. Because she's not interested in anybody. I'm not even seeing it's like, I don't like the cut of your jib, so I can't be with you. Whoever has approached her, she said no to. Her response is rooted in, I don't want to be with anybody right now. So no matter what you say, she's not going to be interested in that, right? So giving her the space that she wants to work on the things that she needs to, such as healing, is the right move. And I do feel like there's also things that you're able to work on in this period of separation. So in other words, allow for there to be some distance or quiet. And then when you come back around, you have something to show for it, right? Hey, so I haven't talked to you in 2 months, but guess what? I cut off that friend of mine that isn't a good influence. Or guess what? I don't know, quit drinking. Whatever it is, there's something here that you can change, that you can work on yourself, that improves your standing with her. I'm not telling you that you should have to change yourself to be with somebody. If you have not been focusing on the healing that is right for your journey, getting some of that work done while you are not in communication only makes you look better when you come back around, right? Hello, Silas. How are you doing? I am doing personal questions, right, meow? You can put your question in a super chat. Did I say hello to Jamaica? What's up? So I do see there being, by the way, somebody else who is interested in you, but this person is toxic. So the person you're asking about wants to be by themselves for a little bit, and it's also a good idea for you to be on your own for a little bit, because there's a toxic person who wants to get into your energy and could potentially cause you to be distracted. I don't feel like you would be interested, but don't give in to temptation. Hello, Crisp. How are you doing? Silas and Kartik, if you would like me to read for you, you can put your request in a super chat, okay? So we've got a request from Nicholas. We're going to use the Tarot of the Cat People. What does Nicholas need to know, please? What does Nicholas need to know? Hello, Erin. How are you doing? King of Swords in the reverse, Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Two of Cups in the reverse, and the Star in the reverse, with the Six of Wands in the reverse. So this is a friendship or family member, but this person is lying to you, Nicholas. This is someone who wants you to validate their decisions or their approach to a situation, but they haven't told you the entire story. This is someone who they know that they should change their perspective, or they know they need to make a change in their life. So it kind of feels to me like this is saying you might feel uncomfortable with what this person is asking. Like, don't you think it's fine that I'm, dating someone who's in a relationship? Or don't you think it's fine that I took this thing from somebody else's house? But they're not telling you all the information. So be careful what you condone or say that's a good idea. Ten of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Ace of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. With regards to money, there's something here that seems overwhelming or not sustainable. This could be a job or something that you spend money on. And there is a new option that presents itself. But that new option is not being honest, or is not, it's like there's some small print here. So even though you may be dissatisfied or frustrated with the current setup, the new one is not as great as it's presenting itself to be. So do not make a hasty decision. Collect all of the details or ask important questions, because I think you're going to find out that if you put in the work at the current situation, or if you do things right, if you wait for the right opportunity within this situation, it works out for you. But something here, a new opportunity, is too good to be true. Ace of Cups in the reverse, High Priestess in the reverse. So trust your intuition. I feel like it tells you to chill for a little bit. Something else will be coming towards you. So does this mean there's going to be a financial windfall in the near future? Yes. So it's important to make a decision that follows your intuition. It tells you to hold out for a little bit. Maybe you're selling a stock and you're like, oh, well, I could make a decent amount of money if I sell it right now. You might find out if you wait another week, if you wait another month, that it doubles. And now you make even more money because you were patient and you held on to it, right? So don't make a hasty decision regarding your finances or your work. There's going to be a better situation for you in short order. It's coming through as a lunar cycle, 28 days. Magician, Ten of Swords. So I don't want you to feel like you made the right decision and then a couple weeks later you're like, ah, dang, I didn't know it was going to get better. I'm glad to hear it, Erin. Oh, good. I hope it goes well, Rachel. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. And